Hello friends, myself Nanda Bothra, Assistant Professor in Commerce, Vanita Vishram Women's College of Commerce, Surat. Today we'll be discussing the topic Banking Ombudsman Scheme. A few years back, customers, if they have a problem with the banking services, for example, if you have a problem with a credit card, so you could go to the bank or the bank senior bank officials. Otherwise, you had no option where to go, what to do. There was no option available to the customers. So RBI came up with a scheme that was termed as Banking Ombudsman Scheme in 1995. Now, this scheme helped the customers to have a platform, have a forum where they could register their complaints related to the banking services. So it was a customer-friendly scheme where the customers would have a platform to file their complaints and receive the solution to their complaints. And in case they suffered from a loss, they could also demand for a compensation. This scheme was again revised in 2002 and 2006, and the latest revision was in 2009, wherein it was made more customers friendly and the purview of the scheme was increased. Now the objectives of the scheme. This scheme basically wanted to protect the customers from any discrepancies in the banking services. It also gave a forum to the bank if they had a problem with their constituent branches, or if there were any interbank complaints that could also be solved through this platform. Lastly, it also wanted to make a solution cost-free and easy. So the process is totally hassle-free, and it is easier for the customers to file a complaint. They simply have to write an email, or they can send their complaint by post to the local ombudsman. For example, if you are a customer of Surat, you can apply to the ombudsman's office located in Ahmedabad. Now, the appointment of ombudsman. Now, ombudsman is a person of very high integrity. In fact, he is to the rank of a general manager or a deputy general manager in RBI. So, he is a person of integrity who has knowledge in legal, banking, financial services, and public administration. So, he is a person of great knowledge and respect. Now, he is appointed for a term of 3 years, which can be further extended to 2 years, but not more than 65 years of his age. Now, the powers and duties of banking ombudsman are divided into two categories: general powers and specific powers. Now, if we see the general powers, they are related to the complaints of the customers related to the banking services, related to interbank complaints or the bank and its constituents complaints, which can be settled through an agreement or by settlement. And the ombudsman has quasi-judicial powers, that is, he has all the powers of a court. Now, these are the specific grounds where the customers or the banks can file complaints. So, first of all, it is non-payment or delay in the payment or collection of checks, drafts and bills. For example, a customer has a problem that his check or his bill is not being cleared by the bank for no reason. Then he can easily file and complain to the banking ombudsman. If the bank is not accepting small denominations, for example, if you want to make a payment of 1,000 rupees in a denomination of 10 rupees notes, and the bank is not accepting, or they are saying we will charge some commission, then the customer has an option to go and file a complaint to the banking ombudsman. Next is, if the bank is not ready to issue drafts to its customers or to the outsiders. If the bank does not follow the working hours, for example, you go at 3 o'clock and the bank says today, we are not in a mood to, operate or give you a particular banking service. So the bank is not allowed to do so. It has to follow certain working hours. So if it is not following, a complaint can be filed to the banking ombudsman. And lastly, if a bank fails to honor guarantee or letter of credit of its customers, then also the customer can file a complaint. Then, if there are some kind of fraudulent withdrawals from the bank account of the customer, right? Then also the bank customer has an option. If the complaint is related to deposits, for example, there is a delay in collection or there is non-payment of deposit, then also customer can file a complaint. If the bank is not ready to follow the directives of RBI, if there are complaints from the Indian exporters regarding delay in receipt of export proceeds, handling of export bills, collection of bills, etc., and if there are any complaints of the non-resident Indians. Now, not NRIs do not stay in India, so if they are having any complaint with the bank, if they are having an account in India, and then they are having a trouble related to deposits or other bank related affairs, they also have an option to file a complaint against the bank to Ombudsman. Now, what is the procedure of complaint? So we'll discuss the steps how one can file a complaint to the banking ombudsman. So first of all, he should write his full name and full address in the application provided by the banker. Now, here it is worth noting that the application does not need to be in the prescribed form. You can even write on a plain paper and you can post it to the banking ombudsman. Now, you also need to write the name and address of the bank's branch or the bank's office against which you have a complaint. Then, you need to state the facts. I mean, you have to clearly state what are the facts related to your complaint. And if possible, you also have to produce documents related to the same. And lastly, you have to mention the nature and extent of loss caused to the customer. I mean, if you are a customer, you have to show this is the problem and I want this kind of a solution or this kind of a compensation for the loss or inconvenience caused to me. Along with this, the complaint can be made only once a representation has been made to the bank's office, right, or the bank's branch. So the first step to file your complaint is to go to your bank and register a complaint there. Now, if they are, giving you a reply or they are not giving you a reply, in any case, if you are not satisfied with the response of the bank, you can definitely go to the ombudsman. But that has to be in 1 month's time period within the day of the response from the bank. Now, it should not be in the same subject matter which has already been passed or which has already been sent to the banking ombudsman. So, a complaint cannot be repeated. Once it has been filed with the banking ombudsman and the procedure for solution has been commenced, then you cannot file it again. Same way, if a complaint has already been filed to the court or to an arbitrator, then also the complainant cannot file it again to the banking ombudsman. And lastly, it is worth noting that the complaint should not be annoying or silly in nature. So you cannot go with a frivolous complaint. The complaint needs to be serious in nature. Now, these are the procedure for redressal of grievances. Or these are the types of settlement one can have if he files a complaint, right? So these are the three ways of settling the complaint. It could be settlement by agreement, it could be settlement by recommendation, or it could be settlement by an award. First procedure is settlement by an agreement between the complainant and the banker. So banking ombudsman would try to give a solution through mediation or through conciliation, and if the complainant and the bank, they are ready to accept the solution, this will be solution of the problem by an agreement, or we can say this is the settlement by agreement. Now, if both of the parties or any one of the parties is not ready to accept the solution, accept the settlement, then it goes to settlement by recommendation. Now, herein what the banking ombudsman does is he will give a recommendation to the complainant as well as the banker. Now, complainant has 2 weeks to answer whether he is accepting the solution or not, right? And if he accepts the solution, bank will also go to the bank. He will present it to the bank, the acceptance of the customer. Now, if the bank also accepts the same solution, then the problem can be solved through recommendation, right? Now, if the problem is not solved by the recommendation procedure also, it will be solved through an award. So, if the banking ombudsman fails to settle the complaint by an award or recommendation, he will pass on an award. Now, the banker as well as the customer, they have a chance to further produce any kind of documents or any additional evidences to protect themselves. They have 15 days period for doing the same. After that, the banking ombudsman will send a copy of the award to the banker as well as the customer. Now the complainant has to give his acceptation in 2 weeks' time. So if the complainant accepts the solution, now there is no chance to the banker but to accept the same. So banking ombudsman will send a written copy of acceptance by the complainant to the banker. Now the banker concerned has to accept the award given by the banking ombudsman. In case he fails to do so within a prescribed time period, the same complaint will be sent to the RBI that this particular banker is not ready to accept the award. Now, this scheme was revised in 2002. The purview was increased and it was made more beneficial to the customers. So here you can see that it was extended to the commercial banks, regional rural banks and scheduled primary cooperative banks. It also provides for a review of an award by the banking ombudsman. Earlier, there was no provision for review of the award of banking ombudsman. So banker had no option but to accept the award. But now there was an option to review the award of the banking ombudsman. And it also increased its purview to solve the dispute between a banker and its constituent branch or between one bank and another bank. And the process could be through conciliation, mediation or arbitration. Now, this is the update in 2006 where the purview was further increased to credit card complaints. If there was a problem related to the banking services or the banking sales agents, then also it could be solved. If the bank is levying any kind of service charges without prior notice to the customer, that was also in the purview of complaint now. And if the banker is not ready to accept or to adhere to the Fair Practices Code, then also the customer had an option to file a complaint with the banking ombudsman. Now, this scheme was again applicable. That is, all the further amendments made in 2006 were again applicable to all commercial banks, regional rural banks and scheduled primary cooperative banks. Here, the banks and the customers, they would get a chance to appeal to RBI against the awards by the banking ombudsman. So 2002 introduced a amendment of review, and here the amendment was related to appeal to the RBI. Now, in short, the scheme has been made more customer friendly. Thank you for your patient listening.